talk to me first about House Bill 5154 and what it would mean for FOIA and what sort of information would be protected or kept off limits.
5154 would specifically exempt all government personnel's performance evaluations from being released to the general public and, of course, to reporters. Now, I have to back up for a minute here and say last year the legislature passed and the governor then signed a bill that really opened up state government in many respects to the citizens of Illinois and therefore for journalists. It allowed a shorter time span for state government to respond to requests. It allowed someone at the Illinois Attorney General's office to give a binding decision on whether documents should be opened or closed. And in a way, these lawmakers who voted for this opening of the Freedom of Information Act and the governor who signed it are now starting to chip away at that very Freedom of Information Act. So basically, we gained a lot last year and January 1st when the law went into effect, and now we're losing it.
This is not the first piece of the original FOIA bill to be taken back with Race to the Top.
Correct.
Is this part of a trend? Has there been any assurance from lawmakers that this and no more?
I'm glad you asked that because, of course, that's always the concern. Once you allow one exemption or one addition to a bill, then that means there will be an avalanche of exemptions or an avalanche of additions to a bill, and that is exactly what we're worried about. In the Race to the Top bill, we lost access to almost every school personnel performance evaluation, and that was a deal that came down within hours. If you remember, that bill went through awfully quickly, and it included that provision. We didn't even know that it existed until it got passed on the Senate floor. And so now there are several bills. 5154 is only one that we're watching, but we consider it the most egregious, that would chip away at those very benefits that we won.
When you talk about a performance evaluation, from a standpoint of a journalist or just someone who wants to know at home about their government, what is now not going to be available? What am I not going to know? And are we talking just state of Illinois workers with a thought towards, the Blagojevich cronies and so on and so forth? Or does this extend down to City Hall, township government, county government across the state?
We are looking at all government employees, so this really is a sweeping bill. And, it's not like absolutely every government employee was about to have their performance evaluations released for every year that they've been employed. In fact, in the first 4 months that this bill has been enacted, the Attorney General's office has reported that there are virtually no requests for those personnel evaluations. Most of the attraction, most of the reason for us trying to get a hold of those performance evaluations are in cases of some kind of political misconduct. Either an employee is gaining far too good evaluations because of political connections, or perhaps they're getting all of a sudden very bad evaluations now that a governor or some kind of leader in their particular shop of a different party has come into office. This is usually used as a way to root out corruption, and it's a way for journalists and the public to try to find some kind of evidence of that. It's not like people are showing up in droves for everybody's performance evaluation. And frankly, I'm a former state government employee. I have 10 years of performance evaluations on the books. My evaluations would be opened up too, and I'm fine with that.
Anything else? Anything else I should be asking? Anything else you want to throw in?
I just want to point out again that the public won something very valuable when this law went into effect last January. And now we're slowly but surely losing it. We have one vote left before this bill goes to the governor, and that's on the Senate floor. I would certainly encourage anyone who sees this, who thinks government should be open, which is what obviously Illinois needs with all the corruption and the cases and the convictions, contact your senator and say, please vote no.